Hi, it's Barbara. Good evening. It is, what is it? I think it's Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday, March 20th. No, not March 20th. March 30th. This is how much goes on with me every day. Today is Tuesday, March 30th, 2026, and I made my midnight deadline. Horse, as usual. So, yes, I missed you guys last night. I was pooped. And like I told you, the room I'm living in is pretty poisonous and makes me sleepy. But I did get out today. And I had the most wonderful new doctor, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But my candles cannot be lit anymore. They're too low. So let's all be the light as I call in God to be with us. So just take whatever breaths you need to take to lower your shoulders. Just let go, just let go. Just droop your body. If you're lying down, just let your back and your butt fall into the mattress. And Father, Mother God of all creation, we all come to you now as your children, as your creation. And we stand proud, honored to stand in the spiritual heart that you are and that you placed right here inside us. And we know right now that you are everywhere present, omniscience, full presence. And we know that you live inside every cell, bone, and fiber, and organ in our bodies. We know that you come through our mind, our emotions, and our body to the degree which we allow it. And we are so grateful to be one with your loving. We are so grateful to be one with your magnificent light. We are so grateful to be one with your presence. And with all reverence for our origin, for our parents, Mother, Father, God, our core origin, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And we know that you are continually blessing us. And we ask forgiveness for anything that we have gone astray about. And we ask for your correction into a higher timeline, into a higher beingness, and ultimately into the Christ consciousness that is in every single person. And so it is. Amen. 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 Oh. Oh, that felt good. I needed that. You know, what we just did could be done all day long. I heard someone say once, you can never call in the light enough. You can never call in the light enough. And so what I've been trying to establish, well, first I'm repeating my algorithms, which are down, I think, to 2 people maybe, is I'm star searching for a particular group of people that I don't see anyone else calling out the way I am. Some close. There's a particular group of people that I have come to know through my own experiences that are the truly good. I call them normies, normal people that have the normie ethics that many of us grew up with and don't even have it in themselves to hurt or harm others, even to the degree that's beyond what we're seeing today. We can't even wrap our heads around what's happening. So I call those people the lovers, the empaths, the caregivers, your teachers, your nurses, your policemen, your firemen, all those people that have chosen careers and purposes that help people. Those are the helpers that Mr. Rogers talks about. And we chose those careers. We didn't get forced into them. I didn't become a teacher because I had nothing else to do. I have a list of other things I could do and will be doing, but teaching was so on my heart to get to these little 7-year-olds. That's a story I should tell you. Those are the people those that are visionless, heartless, jealous, and envious go after. And I've been telling you repeatedly, my experience, they want your light, they want to siphon your energy, they want you to keep pouring into them and into their institutions, because without people like you and me, there would be no institutions. Truly, what would happen if every single person walked out of their churches and their spiritual paths and did all the inner work, plus tools that many of us are giving you? What would they do? They wouldn't have a job. They'd have to go do their own work. As long as they can walk back and forth on the stage, they never have to do their work. All they have to do is siphon you and your energy and your ideas and volunteer free service from you. How many of us have volunteered in our churches and temples? How many? How many of you ever got a thank you? How many of you got burnt out, and once you left, they just replaced you with someone else? I have seen all this. And I do want to be clear that there's nothing that I ever speak about that I haven't personally gone through. I've read plenty of books, but I'm not going to be speaking from other people's experiences. I can only validate my own, and I only feel credible. Oops, whoops. Okay, I don't know if you heard any of that, but let's see. Okay, wait. How's that? I would only be credible with you. My volume was low. I would not be credible if I just quoted quotes and scriptures and paragraphs from other books to you. I mean, what is the point of that? When you listen to someone, a speaker, a teacher, a friend, what you really want is not the word level. You want the transmission of their energy, because that has no words. That transmission of my energy goes straight into your heart and into your soul to do with it whatever it needs. It takes what it needs and lets go of the rest. So when you go to hear a speaker and all you're getting is theory and words, get your money back. It's useless. Words without the energy, the God energy behind it, are useless. They will not penetrate anything other than your mind, your mental level. And we've already discussed that the mental level is not the highest level of consciousness. The mental level, just thousands and thousands and thousands of thoughts go through it. Thousands and thousands of facts that you can never ever use take up the mind until we meditate, until we cleanse the mind, until we bring this soul and this heart down into the mind and spiritualize it. So keep in mind, what you really want is the energy and the transmission from the person. The reason these people keep us around is they want that transmission from us for free. They do not reciprocate. They do not return the loving or the care or the energy. They just take and take and take. I'm talking about our narcissists. I'm talking about the controlling, manipulative leaders everywhere. And I'm talking about people that are empty, who just take and they don't do any work on themselves. They just walk around the world with a mind and a set of emotions and a body and like little robots, and they think they're living. They think that this is it. And those of us who have woken up or are waking up know that there is so much more to our existence. We didn't just come here to walk this body everywhere. We came here, each one of us, with a piece of the cosmic puzzle. At the very least, with a piece of the earth puzzle. And just like some have helped wake me up, I want to pass that gift on to you, knowing that their transmission that came into me is going to you. So that's my star searching. And my reasoning of doing this is because I know for myself, people have gone after my jugular to siphon me first, use whatever they could use to make them look good, to help them, whatever they needed, whatever they were lacking. And then when I was totally siphoned and had no energy for myself, I was of no use to them. That's one scenario. The other scenario are people who do see your light, are jealous of it, want it, they want your purpose, and they want your legacy. That's the group that I'm personally dealing with right now. They siphon people for their energy, their ideas. They even take ideas, they trademark their ideas, they steal them, they make millions of dollars on them, and then they will destroy you in ways that I cannot speak of on this podcast. I know things now that I never, ever could have imagined as a human being. And I know that if everybody on the planet heard me right now, they would all tell me I'm full of it. And that's why I'm not here for the masses. I am not here for the masses. I am not here for mediocrity. I'm here for the few special people that have gotten hurt, betrayed, thrown under the bus, and have been so fed up or so upset or so hurt or paralyzed that they are afraid to come out again for fear of being attacked again. And you are accurate. I know that I'm going to get attacked for these. I'm already, it's in the plan for me. I'm already armored for this. And that's why I'm trying to help you with protection. So those of you who are listening, I'm shooting mostly for women, of course, who have been beaten and battered emotionally, mentally, physically, psychically, spiritually. I want to support you to get strong, to rebuild yourselves from the inside out, to build tools of protection so that you can get back out there and do your piece of the puzzle, because we are needed, particularly now. We're at a crossroads right now, and the devil has been busy taking us out one by one because he knew this time was coming, and the more of us he knocked out, the less of us could stand for the loving. So if I sound unpeaceful and unloving, it's because I am standing up and fighting for the loving and for the light. And I have learned that I have been brainwashed that it's not appropriate to be upset. It's not appropriate to be angry. It's not appropriate to speak out. It's not appropriate to react in response to a negative onslaught. That is matrix brainwashing. We have every right to stand up for ourselves, to stand up for our humanity, to stand up for our divinity, and to just stand up as people and children of God and say no more. Enough is enough. I choose to let you go out of my life. God bless you. Be on your way. That's the position of my podcast. Had I done this 20 years ago, I would be doing the Disney colored glasses version of Love and Light and Love and Light and Love and Light. There's enough people on the podcasts and wherever else that are doing that. But I don't see people really standing in their power and saying enough is enough. Let me say that again. I don't see enough people out there saying enough is enough. To their family, to their husbands, to their wives, to their preachers, to their communities, to their jobs, to their government. Enough is enough. So, that was the soapbox preaching portion of my television show. Oh. And so yes, people, I know what it's like to, what's the word? To have people who wanted me to be destroyed and silenced and to disappear. while they up-level themselves on my energy and my ideas and my spirit. I know it inside and out. I've got the game down. While they thought that they were getting me, I did go down, definitely. I became homeless and I was just all over the place. But I was in tremendous observation of their game plan. And that's what's shocking them right now. They had no idea that I was watching them the whole time. I've got their pattern down. I've got their patter down. And I can tell you the names of every single player involved. Because I've been watching not only for 15 years, but for actually 37 years. So learn to become a great observer in this world. Two things. I have a train going by here. When you learn to become an observer, you will be able to see who are playing the games and who the helpers are. Who are the game players? Who are the helpers? Who are the phonies? Who are authentic? Now see, right now I'm aware that I'm transmitting to you things that have no words. Just now I caught myself doing it. I had no words, but I had the essence and I was telling it to you, but I had no words. That's a transmission. So whatever I was just trying to tell you, you got. And I still don't have the words for what it was that was coming through me. Invisible things are very difficult to put words on. And that's what I mean by transmissions, is keep alert, keep awake. You are so powerful. If you knew how powerful you were, if we all knew how powerful we were, we would be terrorizing the people who are terrorizing us. And that is what the Matrix, these constructs, oh, that's interesting, constructs and contracts, that's what they don't want us to know. So we are in a little cage, and my personal goal is to give you whatever I have to help you get out of the cage. Go free. Go free. Do your own podcast. Write your songs. I say this over and over. Write your books. Write your plays. Write your movies. Get up. Stand up. Get up and out. Be heard and be seen. I am just doing this now in a way that I've never done it before. And I actually have these people to thank, because as much as they wanted me to die and disappear, and it was a strategic movement, they didn't expect me to survive, let alone speak out like this. And this is just the beginning. Like I said, I have evidence up the kazoo of what these people did to me. And so I'm will be only too thrilled to show it to you. Not for revenge, because the revenge will be God's doing. I want to expose them so this never happens to anyone again. And I know in my heart of hearts that once I'm done with this, they will never, ever do to another person what they did to me. That the buck stops with me. Make it so that the buck stops with you. It's the same thing in this assisted living. I have a meeting tomorrow with someone really high up. I'm prepared. I have all my evidence, and it's indisputable. There's nothing they can say to me to rock me, because I'm just going to lay it all out. This is what happened when I came. This is what they promised me. And look at what I got. So I can tell when I'm getting like really stern and really strong. I do have both those parts. And you know what? I am supporting you to find your shadow. That's the perfect topic for tonight. Okay. I've got, I keep all kinds of notes here in front of me. I'm so thirsty. Let's talk about shadows. A mini shadow lesson. Out of all the spiritual spaces that I've been in, my glasses are still crazy, the shadow is taught in such a way that the focus is on the qualities that you have that have gone unacknowledged, that are unconscious maybe, or that we're in denial about. Excuse me, I gotta fix these. Okay. Or that we are in denial about. Usually, not usually, all the time when I've heard it taught, they're looking for the more negative qualities, like, some old ones of mine. People pleaser. I'll exaggerate it. Doormat. It's easy to step on me because I was always looking for the good in people. What other qualities do people work on in their shadows? Just letting people dump on you. That low vibration that we have to bring up and bring out and strengthen those. I'm not a people pleaser anymore. I'm sure you can tell. I have strengthened that part of me where I feel myself and I don't need anyone else around me to give me validation or to reinforce me or to tell me go, 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 or don't go, don't go, don't go. It's an evolvement, an evolution that happens when you do your work. However, what I have never heard, which I needed to hear because this is what I needed, I never heard anybody talk about the shadow of the higher qualities. My shadow was that I have a big voice, that I am courageous, that I am brave, and I can stand up for myself, and I can speak, and I can articulate. That was my shadow. And the reason I never could get with the program of therapists or all these spiritual seminars is no one ever told me that the shadow I was dealing with I was suppressing the higher qualities. That's what I needed someone to help me identify. And so I want to support you in your shadows of greatness. Some of you are so powerful and so grand and so great and have so much vision of what to do on this planet and how to make it better. And that part of you is a shadow because it's not being expressed. It's not being put out there. Whether you've suppressed it out of fear of not being loved, not being accepted like I did, or whether someone knocked the hell of it right out of you, doesn't matter. The point is, the shadow is not just negative things. The shadow can also be your most positive traits. Let me say that again. The shadow of you could be the most positive traits of you that have yet to be expressed. And nobody tells us this. They just talk about the negative shadows, or you're evil, or you want to be right all the time, or you're righteous. No, I'm bringing you to a realization that many of us have a shadow that is our power to take our place on the planet, to be seen, to be heard, to be big, to be bold. How many of you, I've got my hand up, how many of you know how powerful you are? How many of you know that? That's the shadow. That is the positive shadow that no one talks about. I haven't heard it in 45 years. That is a positive shadow. So don't let yourself be convinced that your shadow is only the negative aspects of you or the lower vibration aspects. The shadow of you is also the grandest qualities that you have. And those are the ones that I hope I can inspire you to bring forward. There's plenty of people talking about the lower qualities. So, I've been wanting to get that out about the shadow. So, at least I got it a little bit out. So I'm star searching for the lightest light bearers on the planet to support you in any way I can to come back out. And the way I say it is come back out from under the bed, come back out from the fetal position with the covers over your head, come out of the closet, come out of your apartments, and start radiating that big, bright light that you have. And you know you have it. The way you know you have it is people will stare at you. Strangers will come up to you and ask you a question or just start a conversation with you, or out of the blue just sharing a heartfelt concern that's going on with them. Out of the blue. Light sees light. So start to experiment. Go out by yourself in a crowded mall or whatever and walk with your head up and just observe and keep an open countenance. Keep a smile on your face. Watch how people smile back at you. Watch who stops and just asks you a question. They don't even know why they're talking to you. It's an inner attraction. It's not your personality that they're wanting. Just like these people that steal and siphon our energy, there are good people out there who really want to know, what is that is shining out of you that I can feel? Now, some people can see auras, white lights, yellow lights. I don't. Well, I did twice see an aura. Okay, I'll tell you about that story too. There's an inner soul spirit knowing when you run into someone. Even when you see someone on Facebook, I think I've told you that sometimes these people going on the wall, be my friend, be my friend, be my friend. And, it's just like out of thousands, one stands out. Just one. When you're really discerning. And that's the one that I will reach out to and feel like I'm supposed to know. I don't do it a lot. A few times I've done it, I've always been right about the person. They were good-natured. They were on purpose. I can't even say the qualities. It's just an inner knowing. So I told you I was going to tell you a story about an aura. I was going to make this short, guys. As soon as I sit in this chair, you make me. I was studying with an Eastern teacher named Guru Mai. She's from the Siddha, Siddha tradition, Indian. And I never could get to India, but whenever she came out here, I went to see her. And for initiations, which we'll talk about another time. And the very first time I went to see her, it was at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. Massive auditorium. And it was a 3-day intensive where she spoke. And she was sitting up on her chair with her, what do you call that dot in the middle? Just a beautiful, beautiful woman with the red dot right there. And I had already started my spiritual path. And even early on, I was very concerned that I did not want to attract phony, fake teachers. I already just had an inner knowing. I don't want to be in the presence of someone who's just plain spiritual teacher, which a lot of people do. So I was sitting there and I prayed. I don't think I told you this. I had glasses on instead of my contacts. And I prayed, God, please show me if she's real. But I didn't know how to determine it myself. I didn't know how God was going to show it to me. But I put the prayer out. Please show me if she's real, because I don't want to be here if she's not. And I think the intensive was between $300 and $500 for the weekend. That was cheap back then. It was like 1986. So I'm sitting there. We take breaks. We come back. Take breaks. Come back. And I was just sitting there, listening. And all of a sudden, I saw in slow motion this whitish, yellowish circle around her head. The kind of circle that you see in the art books. Giotto, Giotto, was the artist in college that painted a lot of these auras around the heads of the people he painted. Well, that's what I saw, like a white-yellow aura around her head. And I did one of these. Like, first I stared at her, and then I didn't believe it, so I took my glasses off to see if I could see it, which I did, even though I'm blind without my glasses. I still saw it. I put my glasses back on. I was taking glasses off, putting them on, taking the glasses off, putting them on. I didn't believe it. It was there for minutes, and minutes is a long time. And then I just sat back and I said, thank you, God. That's all you have to do is ask him, is this person real? Or is this person full of shit? This is discernment. I've been trying to share that with you too, is God gives us the gift of discernment. And after you practice it over and over and over, you almost don't have to ask God anymore. You know for yourself. So there was more that happened. But that was the first time I am aware of seeing with my eyes an aura. And God answered my prayer. This is a real one. And it panned out over years, studying with her, that she was real. I did get to share with her on 3 occasions, one-on-one, and she was real. There's so much other stuff I'd like to tell you about her. It doesn't fit in the aura category. So I'll save that for another time. But I'm just telling you is everybody has different gifts. I don't see auras. I don't believe I'm psychic. I'm intuitive. But everybody out there has a gift, and so do you. Those of you who are listening, those of you who are in my little algorithm that I'm star searching for, you are the shamans. You are the healers. You are those who came with keys to share with others, just like us. And when I say like us, I'm not trying to separate us out, but I am trying to separate us out. I'm trying to separate us out from those who have been wasting our time lifetime after lifetime, year after year after year, because, and I'm repeating myself, we're never going to get to our piece of the puzzle as long as we let these leeches leech on us. And the challenge is, when you love somebody, when you're in love with someone, when you are devoted to someone, when you have reverence for someone, and you find out who they truly are, it is so hard to separate out from them. And that's why I'm showing up, is I know what it's like to not be able to separate out of a group that 1 minute is loving and caring to the point where I'm in tears, and on the other side, they are destroying people behind closed doors. And most of the people, the masses, never know about that because they only go after a few. They only go after a few. And usually the few buckle, end up in mental institutions, end up with PTSD, end up giving up, end up going to another country. They just disappear, which is kind of what I wanted to do. I mean, I really was ready to just go anywhere, to get as far away from this pain and the hurt as possible. And God had a very different plan for me. He had a plan, is I'm going to save you through all of this insanity for 15 years. I want you to take this picture, do this recording, etc., 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 and I will show you why later. I lost all my possessions from not being able to pay my storage bill because of this, and also the PCH fires. And I think I've told you, I have lost everything I have worked for since I'm 7 years old. From the baby blanket my parents brought me back home in, to my Barbie doll, to all my spiritual tapes and videos. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars. All my music, my microphone, all the songs I wrote, the shows that I produced, all the masters are gone. I literally have nothing to show for all the work I've done for 73 years. Nothing. And it's because of this one group that decided they wanted what I had. And God pulled me through. And even when He pulled me through, I was just surviving and trying to revitalize myself when this energy came in that I'm supposed to speak about this. And that's when I understood why He had me. Oh, the point I'm trying to make you is, in having me have these boxes of evidence, it's the only thing I didn't lose. It's the only thing I still have. And that is what I am going to use to demonstrate to as many people as possible how these people meticulously try to destroy us and siphon our energy, leave us for dead, and then bring in the next person. So, my main thrust has been to know that God is the only partner you want. That whatever He asks you to do, or that you feel you should do, that you take baby steps. No more jumping, baby steps. One step at a time so that you get every single lesson. The third thing I've been trying to influence, let me use the word influence you, is because you are who you are, and because what you have is the most valuable commodity on the planet. It is worth more. It's not even worth, there's no price. No billionaire can touch what you have. Not that, I'm getting tongue-tied here. No one can take that from you. It's already in there. God put it in there. It's planted in there. It's glued in there forever. And that is what people want. So the third thing I've been trying to support you with is protection. God favors those of us who are doing goodwill, and he protects us. But we need to do some work too. And that's why I've been telling you different tools, or we've been doing different prayers for the purpose of just surrounding yourself with protection. So these people are not, well, I don't know how it outplays in the world, but just if someone's sending you a spiritual dagger, it doesn't penetrate. It just bing. It doesn't even come in. So God is your partner, baby steps, protection, and then the last thing we spoke about last night is keep your heart pure. And those of you that I'm speaking to already have pure hearts, or you wouldn't be hearing this. And if you feel that you can up the level, there's always more to go for more purification. That's where more teaching comes in. That's where more reading comes in. That's where more prayer comes in. That's where more asking God, purify my heart so I can be an instrument of your will. And when I say an instrument, it's a question I've had forever, is not forever, in this lifetime at least. When I first got on my path, I didn't want to be a puppet. And that's where I was resistant to jumping in. I didn't want to dive in because I said, God, if I'm a puppet and you're just going to pull all the strings and make me do this and make me do that, make me do this and make me do that, I don't want to be here. Like, what is the point if you're just going to use me like a puppet? And it took years for me to understand, for me at least, that I had free will and I had choices. And he gave me free will. He gives us all free will. And there's so many choices. I could be singing for you right now. If I had my voice together, I'd actually love to sing more than this, probably. So we're not puppets. We can choose whatever we want to do, and he will bless it, and he will enhance it, and she, the energy, will make it bigger. He or she, when you're ready, he will expand your territory so that more and more people hear you, see your paintings, read your poems. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It gets as big as you want to be big. And if you get to the point where you say, okay, God, this is about the level that I want to stay at, I'm sure that's honored. Like if I said, God, I just want to do these podcasts till the day I die, I'm sure he'll say, fine. Fine, Barbara. But I'm sure in the mind of God, he's thinking, yeah, sure. Wait till next year. Wait till next year when you are a totally different person than you are today. And a year from now, you are going to want different things. He already knows that. When we expand, we want different things, more appropriate things, higher things, holier things, better things. So when I repeat myself, it's the second grade teacher in me that knows that little children need repetition. So we're doing God, baby steps, protection, pure heart. Okay? And I'm really doing this without my pad tonight. This is great. The fifth thing that I added was gratitude. Gratitude. To be grateful for whatever it is that you do have. And whatever the positive feelings that support you that you do have. Whatever the good thoughts that you have that are supporting you, to be grateful for those. And I made them ground zero because God was number one. So I made gratitude first. So gratitude, to be, when you come from a place of gratitude, inwardly, silently, you don't have to advertise it. You're telling the universe that I am abundant. I am grateful that I can at least walk with my walker. You know, I am grateful that I have my Apple phone that I can talk to you on. I'm actually grateful that I have a roof over my head, even though it's poison in here, because it's better than the street for now. I've been there, done that. Sometimes you only get two choices, and you have to take the lesser of two evils and be grateful for that. My little bit of possessions are here. If I don't want to sleep outside, which there are plenty of places I've done, and I hide all over this place, there's some times where I just need to be indoors. And I need to do this indoors. So, repeating again. Gratitude, one God, no religions. We're not talking about religions. We're not talking about any kind of matrix. We're talking one-on-one, you and God, you and God, you and God. Protection, pure hearts, and then we have gratitude at the bottom. I'm going to tell you a story about gratitude. I was in a school, I've mentioned this particular school before, and we were in the final exam. And we went out of LA to do it. And we did these partnerships, like me talking to you, you talking to me talking to you. And I would play the counselor role, and you would be the client. And then we switched. So I had a male for a partner, who I will just skip and just tell you, he was just there to pick up girls. He had not done any work all year. It was clear he didn't do the inner work. And then I'll tell you what the game he had going. So he's my partner. And so I'm counseling him. I don't know how to explain to you what it was. It was hell. He was unresponsive. He didn't know what he was doing. And I was starting to get flustered. And my professor, facilitator, is watching us because they are going to grade us to see if we pass the final exam. So I went inside, and I didn't, sometimes you don't really ask for God. You just go in and you make a request. And I said silently, I don't know what to do here. I am going to fail. Based on his lack of information, had not practiced all year how to work on himself, I am tearing my hair out trying to counsel him like a therapist would. And we are getting nowhere. And it's obvious. There's a room full of people watching. So I go inside, and what I hear is, do the process by yourself, Barbara. Forget him. That's what I heard. Do the process by yourself and just let him just sit there. And so out loud, I said, I am grateful for this process. I am grateful for all the work that I have done this year. I am grateful that I know how to counsel people. Folks, this is 1990s. That's all I did. I just kept saying, I am grateful, I am grateful, I am grateful. And then I came out of that and I proceeded to try to work with him. We got nowhere. So I'm trying to make the point about gratitude. For me, it worked. For me, it worked. But check this out. You had to get an 8 out of 10 to pass. And not 8, 9, or 10. And anything below that was a fail. But there were other opportunities. Okay. Now, the facilitator male saw very well what was going on. He saw my skills. He saw that this man had not done any work and was just sitting there like a blob. So at the end, we get the scores. I get a 7. I get a 7. He gets an 8. Okay. I get a 7. He gets an 8. At some point, I did dispute it. But let me tell you why he got the 8. Well, first of all, the gratitude. The gratitude was the key for me. When you are grateful, miracles happen. You get information you're not supposed to get. So that's the gratitude part. But now I want to tell you about the matrix, the white patriarchy. That night, we were all in a hotel. It was, how many days? I think it was a week. It was a week. So we're all in this bar. And he's there. And he was flirting with everybody. I was in the group. And I was sitting right next to him in the bar. And I don't know how it came up, but he proceeded to tell me that he just made this big donation to the school. Made a big donation to the school. The owner of the school is the one who gave me the 7 and gave him the 8. And he said, please don't say anything, but I just wrote out a big check for this university. So who gets the 7 and who gets the 8? He got an 8 and passed for doing absolutely nothing, fucking up the entire exam part between us. And then the owner of the university has to slash me down lower because I started to take the process and do it myself without him. I don't think I ever found out the reason. I don't think I ever found out the reason, really. But I'm just trying to make the point how money speaks. This man should have gotten a 1, actually a 0. But he gets the full-fledged 8 that passes, and I'm the one who's diminished. Because he wrote out a check to the university, to the president that is evaluating us. I attribute that knowledge that came to me from this guy, that I was pure in my heart. God, I don't want to fail this. I've done all this work. I've paid all this money, thousands of dollars that year. And I'm going to fail because this guy hasn't done a stitch of work. So in my purity and in my reaching inside and going, help me, what am I going to do here? And did my process of gratitude. Yes, he did say something. The president of the university, he scolded me for doing the gratitude. And I remember saying to him that gratitude for me is the most important quality, the most important thing that I could put out to the universe. So he scolded me for that. So I was protected by the gratitude. But I can't say it enough. He got an 8 because he wrote out a check to the president who was evaluating us. This is the matrix. This is white patriarchal society prioritizing money over substance. I presented substance and studies and showing up and showing up and showing up, not just there. This president saw me in a lot of seminars because he was in them too. So, gratitude. Gratitude is also a form of protection. When God knows that you're saying to him, I know that I'm abundant. I know, God, that you are living inside me. I know, God, that I am grateful that I can even walk, that I have a roof over my head. And even when I didn't have a roof over my head, there were other things I could be grateful for, which was I was mobile. I could get around. If I was in a wheelchair, like a lot of people are, I don't think I could have pulled it off like they did. I might have just sunk, just sunk. So, so guys, I share these things as they come up for Spirit to share with you. Is auras, protection, gratitude, knowing my little peeps, my shining stars. You have gold inside you, and people want it. People want your gold dust. They want your light. They want that little flame inside. And you know, it would behoove us all to say, go do your work, go get it, and do the work that I did to earn this. And again, my mission really is encouraging us to let go, let go, let go of these people. And for me, the blessing has been, for those of you who haven't heard me speak before, is in my 15 years of all kinds of homeless type, poison type apartments, just everything. I just could not get settled. As along the way, I didn't care what people think. It didn't happen overnight at all. I wasn't a people pleaser. I was burnt out on rejection. I was burnt out on gossip. Being maligned and smeared was like no big deal. I'm trying to survive here. Who cares about that stuff? And when I came out and survived it, I was sitting there with this armor, absolute armor of not caring about that stuff. It wasn't overnight. It's like the karma just unbeknownst to me, just melted and melted away. The second blessing was that I somehow managed, I can't even say God somehow managed to keep my loving intact, that I didn't get bitter and vicious like they are, that I didn't let them change my personality, that I still have the essence of Barbara in here, which is probably killing them, because that's what they wanted to destroy. That's what they were jealous of. And expect, I forgot to tell you before in my list, not only do they want your light and your energy and your heart and your legacy, they also want to be you. And I know there's people who are going to see this podcast one day. You know that people copy you. You know that people imitate you. They do it when you're not around or when they think you're not looking. But when you're looking from behind a pole and you happen to turn and see them, you will see them portraying you. Literally imitating you. Their smile, their conversation, whereas they never hugged someone, suddenly they're hugging the person. I have so many stories about that too. So, yeah, I got all my energy back talking to you. So yes. So there's two sides of us. There's the yin and the yang. There's the positive and the negative. There is the lover in us, but the piece that was missing for me, which is the piece that I feel I'm supposed to share, is the warrior, the one that says, this love that I have, no. You have to earn that love. You have to demonstrate an integrity. You need to demonstrate honesty. You need to demonstrate that you're trustworthy. You need to demonstrate that you respect me. Or this you will never see again. And if I've already given it to you, I am taking it back. So these people, the narcissists, the copycats, the cruelty, the perpetrators, all those people, we have wasted so much time with them. Why? Because we have empathy, we have compassion, and we just give them chance after chance after chance after chance. And at some point, the response is no. 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 How many of us have problems saying no? I was one. Why? For me, it was not wanting to hurt their feelings. Despite the fact that they are not only hurting my feelings, but doing other numbers on me, there was a part in me that still didn't want to hurt them back. Now, that is actually a very high vibrational attitude. To not want to hurt back the person that is hurting you is a high vibration. There's a knowing that I know what this feels like, and I don't want to perpetrate this kind of hurt onto you. So I understand that choice. However, at some point, it has to be no. No more. God is waiting for me. He wants me to walk forward. He wants me to do my job and my purpose, and I can't deal with you anymore. This goes for the most personal, close people in your life, all the way to a community, a job. I would say probably the hardest one is a job because you're making your money. Probably the hardest one is a government that one person has no power over. So how do we learn to say no and be able to back it up? How do we say no and back it up? Two ways. Inwardly, we have to get really strong, do all the work that requires you having inner sovereignty over your mind, your emotions, and your body. That would be the inner work. I have not seen one spiritual tool in the Bible, which is another subject. I haven't seen a tool yet. So you need to find people like myself, other people, books, seminars, whatever. But the best tool, well, first let me tell you number two. The first thing to be able to say no is to get the inner strength. Then the outer part is start saving your money without the person knowing it, or start looking for new jobs without your present boss knowing. It's like get your ducks lined up so that one day you are in a position to walk out. I did that with my divorce. I did that with a few places I had to move out of, and I'm doing it right now with the spiritual community. I lined up my ducks before I got on this podcast to do full exposure. They think it's come out of the blue. Oh, no. This was a plan. This is a plan. And what you will also find is, as you do the inner work, I'll call it your escape. As you do the inner work to escape a negative situation, and you do the outer work, you get your credential, you get your passport, you start saving money if you have kids and you're going to be a single mom. There has to be an outer plan. But don't forget, you have a partner. And when God knows that you are serious, when you let God know that I'm serious, I want out of this marriage, of this job, of this community, of this entire government. When God hears that you made up your mind, He starts sending in the troops. He will send help in all kinds of ways that you can't even imagine. Help that you don't even know that you need. When I made a decision about doing this podcast, people came out of the woodwork, unsolicited by me. I didn't even know they knew what I was going through. I didn't even know that they were observing my whole downfall and what they were doing. And they came out of the woodwork, and they still are telling me and filling in the pieces of the puzzle that they knew that I didn't even know. Because I was just walking around like, I want to be here and blah, 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 while I'm being destroyed. So your witnesses will show up. Witnesses will show up for you. Um, Again, I'm overloading you. I'm saying too much and I need to edit these. Um, my biggest message is master yourself. Master your emotions, master your mind, master your body. Start doing whatever you need to do inside to come into full control of your inner life. That you're not this blob, that you're a very conscious being. And then the second thing, of course, well, not the second, the first, is to do those baby steps and to ask God for help. We've discussed that God has emissaries. You know, there's Jesus Christ, there's Mother Mary, there's Buddha, there's Muhammad, everybody else has emissaries. I decided to do a God one-on-one at this point in my evolution. But if you get in your heart that you're supposed to be listening to Mother Mary, do it. Listen to her. Discern whether it's her voice or not. Follow your instincts. If you don't follow your instincts, you will never know what is going on. When you develop and fine tune and fine hone okay, see, this God does this to me. I was going to say, God had me say instrument. I wasn't going to go there. I was going to say when you fine hone your instinct, but God threw in no instrument. When you fine tune your instrument, thank you, God. See, it's amazing for me. I'm talking to you. I see only me, but every time I do a podcast, Spirit comes in and changes my word level to His. So when you fine hone your instrument, and the only way you can do it is to trust yourself, make your own mistakes, correct those mistakes, then trust them again. If you make a mistake, correct them. Make another mistake, correct it. But if you start listening to this one and that one and this one and that one, you will never tune your own instrument. You are not here to play this one's drums, like the jazz metaphor I gave you. I'm not here to play this one's drums. I'm not here to play this one's saxophone. I'm not here to play this one's bass. I'm here to play this instrument called Barbara. That's my part. That's my piece of the puzzle. That's my lane that God gave me. When you start going into other people's lanes, you lose yourself, you lose time, you end up with the wrong people, you end up in the wrong communities, and at some point you don't even recognize yourself anymore. Of course, because you're not yourself anymore. You have a little piece of the drum, you have a little piece of the bass, you have a little piece of the piano, and that is not your instrument. Play your instrument only. Let them play their instruments or do whatever they want with their instruments. But our job is to play our instrument as best we can. Get blessed and give it back out into the world. So those people who are busy copying us are wasting time. Because that's my lane. No one can take my lane. I told you, it's like a fingerprint. We each have a different fingerprint. God gave me a fingerprint that no one can replicate. It may almost look like it, but when the final exam comes, only I have the passing grade for the final exam because it's right in my fingerprint. So, this was supposed to be shorter. I have this appointment tomorrow. I'm going to ask for your prayers that I'm meeting with this woman tomorrow, and I'm just going to lay it out to her what's been going on here. With that stuff I showed you yesterday, I have videos to show her. I have pictures to show her. I actually have samples of the dirt that's in this room that I sent to a lab. I have everything I need. I could sue their asses off. If I had the time and the money, I would. But I want to get on with my show, and I want to get on with my life. I want to get along. Okay, I want to get along. I want to get along with my healing in my body. Oh, and I did start out. Here's one more story. I went to this fabulous doctor. He is new. He whipped out this most fabulous letter for a judge should I end up in court. He did a better letter than doctors I've had for 30 years. Meticulous. He was understanding. He saw the whole picture. I brought my evidence for him to see, and I said, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I've been living with. This is why I am so sick. And I tell you that to say I am on a walker, as I told you, but the part I don't tell you, because it's hard for me to share this with you guys, I have a really bad back, and it's in the spine. And I've been overweight. Combination of a bad back and the weight. When I'm walking on the walker, I'm not standing straight up. I am hunched over, leaning on the walker, because I just can't hold the spine. When I walked out of his office, I was standing straight. I was not bent over. I walked 2 blocks to a coffee shop without bending over. And when I got to the coffee shop, I realized, oh my God, I didn't have to bend once. And the only thing I can tell you so far that I got was inflammation. My back is so inflamed and swollen and swelling from all the whatever's going on there. Stress, upset, anger, concern causes inflammation. When I sat with this loving, concerned, easygoing, I had no anxiety. I wasn't going through this, oh no, he's not going to write what I need, and no, he's not going to want to do this. No, it was like silk. You know, that's a good word. I have to use that word. It was like silk. I want my relationships to be like silk. I'm sitting with this for a minute, guys. I need to get this inside me. I want my relationships in my life to be like silk. They're so smooth and they're so easy that I can be free. I can stand straight. I don't have to be inflamed. I don't have to be swollen. And that was what I heard when I got to the coffee shop, and I realized that I wasn't hanging over like usual. I realized that my spine had to have eliminated the inflammation while I was sitting with him. The inflammation had to have gone away. My mind was peaceful. My emotions were relaxed. My body was comfortable in his office, and the exchange was, I don't even want to say it was respectful. He was humble. In essence, it was, what do you need? What do you need? I will do whatever you need. After he saw all the evidence. None of my other doctors have been able to have that attitude or produce that. Imagine having people, and I'm talking to myself now, guys, I swear I'm talking to myself. Barbara, imagine what it would be like to be surrounded by people that say, what do I need so you can stay straight and tall, not be inflamed and swollen anymore, so that you can do what you have to do. I always get a gift, guys, when I do this podcast. It's amazing. It was on the order of physician, heal thyself. I got an example. I'm processing in front of you guys right now. I'm processing in front of you. I'm saying this for me. I hope that you get this. When I am with people that are humble, that are loving, that have an attitude of being a servant and being of service, I am at my optimum potential, my optimum healing, my optimum performance. I'm sorry, I'm repeating this because I need to say this for myself. I need to be around humble, loving, caring people who have an attitude of service and being a servant. And I don't mean a servant below me, equal. The way I have been. And in that, I will bet that if I can create that, I will never have to have back surgery, that I will be able to heal everything in my body, that I will look younger, feel more vital. Taking a breath on that. So my affirmation for me is I am now surrounded by people who are like silk. That are smooth, easy to be with, that are smooth, easy to be with, authentic and sincere. I just got my affirmation for my passion project. I'm going to have to listen to this again and write this affirmation down. To be around people that are silk and smooth. None of this rough craziness. Sometimes it goes off. So that was a mouthful. Whoever's listening, thank you for being present with me, because you contribute to this podcast. It's not just me. It may look like it's me, but it's not me. It's this. I'm kind of blown away, and also feeling more confident and more hopeful for my own healing. I just got the key to my healing. I need to get away from these predators, these liars, these phonies, these polished elites that have my system like this. Because we know that we know that we know when people are not aligned in the truth and are just pretending. We know that we know that we know when we are with people who are not aligned and are just pretending. Whew. What you just saw me do in the last 5 minutes was an example of inner work. Now, I didn't even initiate it. That was spirit coming through, giving me the issue, walking me through it, letting me see it, letting me contemplate it, and letting me come out with my own revelation. That's what inner work is. And if you are the only person on the planet and no one else, God can process you and evolve you So don't go spend thousands of dollars on seminars like I did. You know, had I known what I had I known what I know now, I would have spent some of that money on a car and a pretty dress and even more voice lessons. So, God bless everybody. Thank you, who's ever participating. And again, I said, who knows if these will ever be heard. I mean, I may be dead and gone. I should say evolved and gone. So my passion project is working. Oh, that's another thing. You see how this happened? I told you the passion project will do you. I needed an affirmation, and I just got it. Unsolicited. I didn't have to sit here for an hour and try to figure out what my affirmation is for my passion project. It just came. That's how God works. He's the best teacher, facilitator that we have. How did I say it yesterday? What a deal. What a deal. Okay, guys, good night. God bless you. And I'll see you tomorrow night. And bye-bye.